Yes,
Among all your valuable accomplishments, which would you consider as outstanding as a space scientist and as the President of India?
Well, I personally believe I always value as a teacher. I'm a teacher. When my student got a PhD, that was the greatest happiness for me.
Shall we start, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another, very exciting session for Global Teachers Training Program, Session 8. I welcome you all on behalf of IDYM Group of Companies. Myself, Meenakshi Mehra. Today, I'll be hosting you. So, talking for that, before we go ahead to our speaker, I would like to have a little word for IDYM Group of Companies. IDYM Group of Companies is a platform to promote space and satellite education for a very young mind, that is for entire students. Community from any school all around the world. It involves a group of people with several years of experience in education, ranging from people of education from ministries, various school principals, and young and talented space enthusiasts. IDYM performs workshops, lectures, and space and satellite rocket technology for schools with different distinguished speakers from multiple IITs, ISO, ISRO, NASA, DRDO, BARC, HAL, NAL, scientists, and many more. The list goes on. Armed forces, officers, and space experts. This is very less if we talk about IDYM group of companies. So coming today to the speaker, today we have a wonderful person. Her name is Miss Sonia. Welcome, madam, to the show. Good evening, Miss Sonia. Can you unmute yourself before? Ma'am, you are muted.
I have unmuted myself, ma'am. Thank you for the warm welcome.
Thank you so much, ma'am. A small introduction to Miss Sonia. She hails from Gujarat and she is a career counselor by profession. She has counseled more than 20,000 school students and in her 3 years of span. That's really great. And she holds 11 years of teaching experience with English and social science. And she is basically has a BCom, she's a BCom graduate with computer certification, certified with an ECE training program, and she's also having, the credentials of career counseling from the university. I am not able to read the university.
It is University of California, Los Angeles.
California. I'm so sorry, but University of California. It was not clear in this. I'm sorry. She's having an advanced level of master's level of certification in career counseling and diploma in child psychology and adolescent psychology. Seriously good. She also has diploma in school research development programs, which is having development life skills, success of art counseling, cooperating, collaboration, learning, organizing, teaching and learning, ADHD, stress management, mental health, essential lesson planning, alternative of punishments from ACE Education Academy. She also has level 1 and level 2 certification in DMIT. and level 1 certification in graphology and certification in special and premium overseas admission students profile. You have a good or solid background today. So we are having a powerful woman, who is going to teach us. Madam, the stage is all yours, and we are all here as a learner. Please, on behalf of IDYM group of companies and thousands of people who are watching us live, I welcome you to IDYM, teaching series. Good evening and welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
The stage
Thank
is
you
yours.
so much, Meenakshi ma'am. Thank you for such a beautiful introduction that you read about me. I would first of all like to thank IDYM Foundation and Ravi sir for building this trust in me. And it has always been a wonderful experience to share the platform here. It's like, a platform which has given us lots of recognition. Thank you, Ravi sir, for all this. Well, the topic today that I am going to talk on is student teacher bonding. Well, it is one of the most important thing that we are looking out for today, because the children are going to join us after almost 2 years. They have been at home, they have gone through different phases in life. So it becomes even more important as teachers, as educators, as counselors, as psychologists, to look into these things for students and to give them that comfort level that we are known for as teachers. Well, now when we are talking about this bond, it is very, very delicate bond. It has to be built with trust. We need to blend trust and care, nurture in this, because children are not bad. Children never are born bad. Okay, children are like soft clay or wet mud, which we mold, we give them shape, and it is in our hands how we shape them. Well, we have two types of children in class or at home or anywhere around us, that is active and passive. Now, for teachers to understand what is active and passive is very important. Active is those children who are there always in front, lead from front for us, do things, do activities, even we promote them at times. And passive are those which have taken a back seat, who do not like to come in front, who don't want to do something or involve themselves. Well, this is also created by us only, maybe not knowingly, intentionally, nahi, but unintentionally somewhere we are also responsible for such things. And now it is even more important for us to look into these things, so that because the children are coming after 2 years, some of them have had long gaps, learning gaps, because their atmosphere at home was not what they had to get as learning atmosphere. So they are coming with a long gap. So we need to build that, we need to bridge that gap for them. And that can be done only when we give them kind attention, nurturing, care, and try to understand them. We are not going to be judgmental, we don't have to judge them with the behavior they come back to school. We need to observe their behavior. It is always believed that the school is a second home for a child. Well, yes, it is a second home, because maximum time of the day a child spends in school. And so the teachers are like parents to them, second parents. So when we are compared to as parents, we need to also take up those responsibilities on our shoulder to nurture them in the very same way we nurture our own children at home. We try to understand them. So we need to do all this to become good teachers, to become good educators. Well, I have a small PPT that I would like to share with you all, because that would become a little interactive for us also. Is the screen visible to all? Yes. Is the screen visible?
Yes, ma'am. It's visible.
Okay. Now, when we are talking about this teacher-student bond, what is a teacher-student relationship? Well, it is a bond that is beyond words, a bond that is perfect, a blend of emotional, social, and professional connect. Well, we have very
Ma'am,
good
put in the full
examples. We have
screen mode.
examples.
Ma'am, put in the full
Yes, sir.
screen mode.
Ma'am,
Put in the full screen mode. Slideshow button. Slideshow button. Click on slideshow.
Oh, is it okay, sir? Now it's fine.
Ma'am, click on the slideshow button. It will be visible. Full screen will be.
So it is actually a bond between the teacher, an emotional bond, a social bond, a professional connect. We have examples of great teacher-student relationship. We have Dronacharya and Arjun as example. We have Krishna as examples. Bulls. That bond they shared. A teacher who had lots and lots of trust in the student, the capabilities, the nurture that a teacher could give a student. It is a very vital role in the life of a student because today we are looking up.
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt, but it is
Today
not.
we are looking.
Sonia ma'am, I'm extremely sorry
Yes,
to
ma'am.
interrupt. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it's not coming in the full screen mode, ma'am.
Ma'am, showing me like this only. It's not taking any other mode for me. But PPT is visible to you. It's in screen, right? Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Is it possible? Is it visible now?
Maybe. I get it. Yes, ma'am.
So now how do we build this relationship? It is we need to build a bond with them. The first thing we can do, build a rapport with them. We need to understand them. When they come to class, we need to give them one-to-one attention. We need to address them by names. Believe me, it does wonders. When you address every student with their name, they feel good. That closeness is there, that bond is there, emotional bond. They can get connected to the teacher. We need to be good listeners to them. Why good listeners? Because we need to listen to them. At times it so happens that in the class we suppress the child, say, wait, not now. I have to finish my work. Let me finish the syllabus. Let me finish this particular topic. No, at times we need to go out of the way also. I do understand that we come with a very mental state that, okay, I have to finish this today in the class. This is the syllabus that I need to cover. And I have this much of constraint of time and do. But at times, we need to go out of the way and try to do something what even the children enjoy, because that brings us closer to them. If we respect their feelings, they will automatically respect our feelings. They will never disturb your class then. So we need to be good listeners to them. Sometimes, children come out with very innovative ideas. We need to help them explore those things. We need to be observant over there. We need to give them that space to create those innovations. Respect their ideas. Yes, it's very important. Sometimes, the children come out with very small things. So we need to respect that. We need to appreciate that. We need to motivate them for that. Be a part of their activities. When you're giving a class activity, try to be a part of it. Do it with them. Share your ideas, share your views. Tell them how you can make it more better. You share your creativity. They're putting in their creativity. That creates a very good bond between the two. Then take the center stage while talking to them. Usually what happens is we are standing near the blackboard or the table chair that is for the teachers. From there only we conduct our classes. But no, try to be in between them. Make the class environment ambience in such a way that you get the center portion and the children are surrounded by you, because that is going to help you a lot. While you're talking, everybody is looking at you, you're in the center to them. So that is really good. That aura is a very positive one. Introduce different clubs to them, like dance, music, sports, theater, science, math, etc., and divide the students as per their likings. This is something which will help you to create rapport with them and also to understand their strengths and weaknesses in a better way. Because at times what happens is we are not able to understand each child in the same way. But sometimes through their activities, through their participation, through their presentations, we get to know more about them. We get to know about the inner talent hidden in them. So we need to create these things for them so that it helps them. And this will also be taking multiple intelligences into action. So this is something that even the NEP is coming up now with multiple intelligences. Maybe the children have different learning styles. We can come to know what a child is comfortable with by introducing these kind of activities and clubs in the class. We need to, apart from that, we need to build a very social and emotional connect with them. Share live examples with them. Narrate incidences as stories to them. Talk to them in a form of storytelling. Relate certain things to them in the form of the chapter that you have. Connect the two together so they'll understand it better, and create some humor, make the class interesting and joyful. Introduce some nice activities. Some topics can be taken with while singing, or tables are there, poems are there. You can create nice poetic way of coming up with those, and they learn it also in that way. Praise them for small achievements, praise them. Don't bring the negative side out of it. When a child is doing something, don't say, अरे ये ऐसे नहीं करना था, this is not the right way to do, you should have not done it like this. Instead say, wow, this is so nice. You know what, but if you had added this little about it now, it would have been a much better thing. So that child is motivated. Okay, ma'am praised me for what I did, but tomorrow when I do it again, I'll keep in mind what ma'am told me, and then accordingly I will do it, and I'll do it better than what I did. So this is the bring out the positive side. Observe them, don't judge them. See how they do it. You are an observer, see what they do. Sometimes what happens is, maybe the day is not good, they've had a bad day at home, or they haven't had proper sleep, be. It happens with us also, and we also at times are not in that frame of mind. you know so we cannot judge them with their behaviors like this in the class. So we need to create an emotional and social connect with them. And when we are building a rapport, we are connecting with them socially and emotionally. We are grooming them holistically. There are behavioral problems. We need to understand them. To maintain the discipline in class, we as teachers should understand about the behavior problems that could be caused. When a child is not comfortable, not able to express, or at distress, then only he or she will create a problem. Yes. See, sometimes when we are not in a right state of mind, we have something bothering us in our mind. Even we are not ourselves, we are at a distress, we are not comfortable. We try to do fidgety things, we try different things, and we are not attentive in the class. So same thing could have gone wrong with the child also that day. So one behavior or one day in school cannot be judged. They cannot be judged on that. Their behavior. We need to be constantly observing what makes it change in the class for them. Sometimes these behavior problems may hinder the class during teaching learning process also. So it should not disturb everybody. So it's better that we are observant and we try to get the child into a very comfortable zone with us, and so that the atmosphere is very, very comfortable with all of them. Now, when we're thinking about types of problems seen in the class, children are very inattentive, they're aggressive, they're inappropriate in language. Now, see, when they're inattentive, it could be because the topic is not what interests them. Okay, they will not be able to follow that, or it could be like there's nobody at home to support their learning, so it gets very difficult for them to understand what you're teaching in the class. So they get inattentive, because they're not able to enjoy the topic. It's not of their interest. So they get very inattentive and fidgety with things. There is a lot of aggression. Now, aggression is something that, the problem that the children learn from what they see in the class, their environment, or in the house. Now, if the family at home is on fights, there are regular disputes, there are arguments at home, they are using a very wrong tone of talking. So that could also create aggression in a child, or the child is not given what rightfully should be given to him, the time, the attention. So the child gets aggressive just to gain attention. So these are certain things that we need to understand. Then there is inappropriate language. Inappropriate language could be learned. We have to be very careful when we are using communication in front of children. The words we use, it's not only words. Language is everything. It could be our body language, it could be our facial expressions, it could be the way we communicate, the words we use, it could be anything. Expressions of our faces also, speak about the language that we are. So we need to be very careful when we are dealing with children, because all this plays a lot on their heads. They observe everything and they grasp it, and they're very fast in all this. Then we have frequent use of bathroom. Now many children, have some health issues, due to which they use toilet habits very frequently. But sometimes it is like, to get away from a particular teacher, or like to get away from a particular topic, or it could be like, doing it because they haven't done their work at time. It could be n number of reasons why they do this. We need to try to understand and get the cause out why the child is doing that in the class, because until and unless we don't know that, we cannot help him improve his habit or behavior. Then we have seeking constant attention. As I already told you, that there are children who get deprived of things. It could be at home, it could be in the classroom atmosphere. Now let's connect active and passive students over here in seeking constant attention. What happens is, sometimes a few children are very good with certain activities. So what happens is, it is unintentional. We actually don't mean to do it in the class with children, but the first few names that come to our mind is children who are very good with that particular thing, or who are very bright in the class. We automatically say, okay, you five come, you will be doing this activity. So what happens is, they become the active students of the class, and the children who wanted to come forward but they did not have the courage to do it, or were not able to excel in one particular activity, or were not seen or recognized, they take a back seat and they become passive. So, and then they try to mingle around with things of mischief, inattentive behavior, aggression, and try to seek constant attention from us. Okay, so we need to understand all this. Then it is overconfident. Some of the students who are very good with their academic, or who are very good with the way they communicate or everything, they know that they can take the stage from there. They get overconfident, and sometimes that overconfident is not good being in the class, because they get arrogant. They try to think, okay, I can do it, I'm the one who does it. So that is also not good actually, for students. It should be a very mediocre. Yes, we need to boost confidence in them, we need to boost motivation in them, but that should be on a very mild level, so that it is very smoothly done and a holistic approach is given to it, grooming is given. We have use of gadgets in the class. Now, use of gadgets, yes, many children come to school, they have hidden tablets, they have mobiles, and they hide it and they use it. We need to make them understand that that classroom is not a place where such things need to be used. We need to make them understand that this is something that breaks the decorum of the class actually. We need to make them understand, and that can be done only when we are socially and emotionally connected to them. When we have a rapport with them. Today, if I am very good with students and I have a very good rapport with them, if I tell the student, better don't use this in the class, it's not good because there are other students also. It doesn't look nice when you do this. It's distracting others. The child will stop using it. He'll stop bringing those such things to the school and the classroom. So we need to understand such things, and the way we put it forward, the approach that we go ahead in telling them is very, very important. It plays a very big role. There are side conversations, two children talking, and sometimes we need to give negligence to it also, because they're kids. They come to school, they are in a pure interactive session, so at times they do like to talk to each other. If we give them that space in between two periods, or in the recess, or a teacher is taking a class for 45 minutes, so she completes her work with 35 minutes or 40 minutes, and last 5 to 10 minutes if she is giving it to these students, these side conversations can be stopped. Because what I feel is, the span of concentration that a student has is only for 35 to 40 minutes in a class, not more than that. Because whatever you teach beyond that, it's only very few children who will grab it. The others will just let it go. So I think, by the time they go to a next subject or a next period, if they get this 5 to 7 minutes of a nice conversation, interaction with their friends, or the teacher had some humor in the class, it would refresh them for the next class. Otherwise, what happens is they are so stressed after 2 to 3 classes that by the time they come to the fourth or the fifth class, it's like it's done. I'm done. I'm exhausted now. So, जो teacher बोल रहे, it's all going beyond their heads at that time. Then we come to sensory processing disorder, SPD it is known. Now what happens over here, sometimes the children get very fidgety with the clothes that they are wearing. They're not comfortable, they're dressing, they start itching and scratching. Sometimes they're not comfortable with loud noises in the class, or they take a small corner and aloof themselves from the crowd. So they don't talk much in the crowd. So these are sensory processing disorders in children. We need to understand, and we also need to bring this into light for the parents also, because you and parents together can work on it. They also have to observe the children at home, that why the child is behaving like this, what is troubling him, why is he doing all this, because until unless we don't know, because we're not able to do it. Then we come to snipping remarks. Now, this is something, when a bond is not created between a teacher and a student, or there are some gaps left, the bridge is not properly done, then snipping remarks come. Sometimes what happens, we have also seen a few teachers, please don't get me wrong, I apologize for it. Sometimes what happens is, there are teachers also unknowingly they pass on certain comments, they give some
Just 1 minute,
remarks,
please.
like
1 minute,
judging
Sonia.
somebody. Yeah. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Just 1 minute, ma'am. I would like to request all the people who are watching us just mute themselves so that we can hear properly, Sonia, ma'am, what is she saying? Thank you, ma'am. You can go ahead.
Yeah. So, what happens is, when we, as I told you, we need to be very appropriate with our language, the words we use, because sometimes, the words that the children have heard us, even when we are talking in the staff room, we need to be very careful, because the children do come to staff room, they come to give their assessments, assignments, their book submissions, or due to any reason, a teacher must have called a few students, whatever it is. So, or they are passing through that place, so they happen to hear us what we are talking. So sometimes when two teachers are talking and they have passed a remark or a comment on some other teacher, they're discussing some other teacher, the students take a chance, and they already are not in good terms with that teacher, they have certain differences with the teacher. So what they do is, to disturb their class, they start snipping remarks on it, they take those words and put it in their head and they start using it. So all these things have to be, we have to be very careful actually, before blaming that the children are doing this. We need to see, are we putting that culture into them, are we inculcating that culture in them, are we bringing those habits into them? So we need to understand those also. Some of them are not punctual. It could be they're very unpunctual with their work. Their books are incomplete, they don't complete their assignments in time, the notebooks are incomplete, they don't submit things on time, they're very irregular to school. Now this is one very big problem, that children are irregular to school. Sometimes what happens is, a child is not comfortable. Why? Because he is not able to mix around or gel around with the atmosphere. Maybe the atmosphere that he has at home is very different, and this school that he's put into is a very different kind of a thing. So to gel around over there and to mix around with everybody is very difficult. Sometimes we also have to see these things, that what background the child is coming from, and sometimes we have to make them comfortable, and we also need to see that the child is comfortable in the whole class, everybody is accepting him, apart from the teachers, even the students in the class are accepting accepting him. So then only the children will start being punctual. And if you feel that there are children who are not punctual and you cannot pinpoint on them, obviously it doesn't look nice. You can start off a very nice thing, make a chart and say, okay, we will be giving points and we'll say the best punctual child of the week or of the month, and we will give them stars. Let's see who gets stars. Put the whole class name on it on the chart and start activities in this form. Maybe then those children, and what you can do is, instead of making them understand that they are not punctual, try giving them some work to do. Put some responsibilities on their head, give them some work, tell them to share shoulders with you, like, okay beta, do one thing. You be in charge of the notebook submissions. So you make a note of all the children who have submitted their books, and also make a note of the children who haven't submitted. So it is your duty to collect all those things and give it to me. So when you're giving these kind of activities to children to do, know these responsibilities, it makes them understand that he is a part of the class, and he has to come out the best, because if being a leader he is the best, then only he can command it on the others. So these things will help him to become punctual. Late submissions also, you need to make them understand how important it is for them to submit things on time, how the submissions can help them get a better grade because it's a part of their grading system. You can put in all these positive things that can help them out, and try to make it in a wonderful way that you can do it. Well, the PPT ends over here. I would be open to question answers also if you all have some question answers. And as I said, that this is a very special bond that we need to make, because tomorrow when they are known in future, everybody will ask them who mentored them, who was their teacher. The students themselves feel, she was my teacher, she taught me all these good things, and today whatever I am because of her. So when children speak about you even at a later stage, that is a real earning for an educator or a teacher, I feel. See, we all earn in monetary terms, we all get salaries, but when the children come back to you after years, that is the real earning that we all get. That is something that we should cherish. Today I have many of my students, and I very proudly say that my journey from ma'am to mom has been excellent in 11 years of teaching field. The bond that the children have created with me, I still cherish it and share it. So I think this is something that we all teachers should inculcate. And learning process is something that we should all be in. It is no harm in learning from a student. It is no harm. In fact, when you learn from a student, no, he feels very happy. That's a seventh sky, no limit to it for him. So at times, learn from them. It is not that being a teacher, it's only we who have to teach every time. There could be certain things that even the students teach us. Today, if we talk about the pandemic, did we all know about how we had to become tech savvy, how we had to use the virtual platforms, and getting into all these things, because we were in a very traditional mode of teaching, and that traditional mode of teaching was blackboard and chalk, or the whiteboard and the marker. Nothing apart from that. Computer was used by us, laptops were used by us, but only to make a question paper, design an activity, or very nominal work. Nothing more than that. But today we have become so tech savvy. So I was very happy when children came and told me, ma'am, I'll teach you how to do it. I said, yeah, you're most welcome. Welcome them to teach you. Sometimes what happens is, when the student says, no, ma'am, can I help you out? We say, I can do it. I'm a teacher, I can do it. But we don't understand that, that hurts them actually. If only you had, even though you know how to operate it, I say, even if you know how to do it, it would really boost up that child emotionally if you can say, yes, beta, please come tell me, how can I do this? You can do this for me. Wow, that's really great. Believe me, it's going to do wonders. That bond between you and that student is going to do amazing work. And this is going to help him grow holistically. Because today, when we are talking, no, only academics is not important. Only bookish knowledge is not important. We need traditions, we need culture, we need the way of speaking, we need everything. We need etiquettes, manners, emotions. We need everything in a student. And that can come only when we club together as a family. When we create that bond with them, we create a rapport with them, we connect with them emotionally. We need to show empathy to them, not sympathy. Children are going to get back to school, after 2 years. They must have faced lots and lots of problems. Somebody would have gone through a very bad financial crisis. Somebody must have lost their parents. Somebody must have seen disputes. Somebody must have seen their parents getting separated out. It would have been a great loss on their hearts. See, we've all gone through a different phase of life in last 2 years, but we could cope up with it because we were adults. For children, they're very sensitive and soft. To cope up with all this, it gets very tough for them. So it is we who have to do it. When they get back to school, first of all, they have been away. They must have been in a very nice enthusiasm mood to get back to school, to meet their friends, to see the campus, and come into the classrooms. Maybe first few days they're very noisy. They are, full of mischief. I think we should let them do it because they've been deprived of it for the last 2 years. It's been a long, long gap for them, because we need to get back and connect with them again. It's going to restart relationship with them again. Rebonding of us. So we need to treat them as a family and take them together. Only then can we really, really work for a better futuristic approach for them. Thank you.
So
Yes,
I
ma'am.
thank you so much, ma'am, for this wonderful session. I can say every minute, I guess we have learned something. And as you said, it is like the sensory processing and the other, sniffing remarks. I guess it is nothing less than neuroplasticity, in better words, what we can say, where
Yes.
neuroplasticity is the new term for the coming NEP 2022, and where the teachers need to have a very good bond with the students, where empathy is required more than sympathy. So it's
Yes,
not
ma'am.
with the students, it's with the colleagues, it's at our home, and it starts with ourselves. Then we can go
Yes.
to our job, to students, to office people, to anybody. But yes, that is what it is required in today's world. And it was a huge bag for me to carry today and learn so much from you today. And I thank you for coming up with this topic of students and teachers bond, which is really necessary. And still, there are many students who are at home, the tiny ones who are not joined because of the pandemic, and still the vaccine is not there for them. Still, they are at home. So they are the main people who are sitting at home and suffering a lot. And as you said, which was the very important point, where they come from different background. Absolutely correct. And they have different needs. Some are special needs, some the students have in students also. I'm not even talking about the special needs students. I'm talking about where, as you said, emotional needs. They
Yes,
need
ma'am.
teacher to share, someone to share with, not specifically to be a teacher, but to be a friend, also to be shared with. Absolutely, I enjoyed every single minute of your training session, and thank you so much. Here, I would like to hand it over to Ravi sir, if you are there. Do we have Ravi sir? Or if anybody wants to ask questions to this, because this is a wonderful session, so can we have question and answers, please? If somebody wants to ask questions to Sonia ma'am,
Yes.
please unmute yourself and ask question. If you have anything in your mind, please go ahead to ask Sonia ma'am and get opportunity to take an answer quick.
Actually, ma'am, I would like to say that the children who have not had a educational background at home, no, if they haven't had that atmosphere at home, how education has to, they'll be coming down with lots and lots of gaps, and it is going to be a task for all of us as teachers to build that bridge for the gaps. The 2 years of gap that they have had in learning, we have to first build that bridge for them. To bring them to that level where we are today, because everybody would not have had a background like we have it at home. There are parents who could not have helped their children at all, and some of them were not able to do it because of the wi-fi connections or the gadgets. So it gets even more tough with them, at times. So
Sonia,
it is.
here we would like to honor you with your certificate of today's session. And I would like to
Thank
have a huge round of applause for you from all of us from the team IDYM. And thank you so much for coming today with a wonderful topic. Again, I'm saying it's a wonderful topic, and congratulations for the topic you have shared, students and teachers bond. Again, congratulations, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. You've been a great moderator, ma'am. That was really wonderful. Thank you so much. It was nice meeting you, ma'am.
It was a pleasure. It was always a pleasure. Thank you. I really appreciate the way you have explained. Today's teachers they need that. In fact, we coming from admin background where I work as a school principal. In fact, we also need that to be empathetic. And I'm glad that today you have shared this topic with us. Really glad. It was wonderful.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm sticking to the line. I enjoyed every single minute of yours.
Yes, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Even, even I would like to speak over here. It was wonderful listening to Sonia ma'am. Uh,
Thank you.
so can I just say a few lines?
Sure, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Please.
Yes, thank you, Meenakshi ma'am. So hello everyone. Thank you IDYM for giving me an opportunity to take part in this Global Teachers Training Program. I'm Manju Sharma, an educationist since 21 years. And indeed, I feel that a good teacher always connects with the students and builds relationships. Like Sonia Mem said, children are like soft clay, and it's in our hands to mold them. So true, ma'am. And indeed, I'm really inspired by your words. I do believe that a good teacher can change everything, as she not only explains and demonstrates, but she inspires. And the best gift we can give to our students is to believe them. So, really, it's a great feeling to see the success of our students. And it's the passion of teaching and learning that inspires a teacher. As again, I would again like to quote Sonia ma'am's word that we are forced to be tech savvy now, doing all the online classes. And children, they really enjoy when they get a chance to show us how to handle the gadgets. And when we say thank you to them, they get very excited. And when we see smiles in their faces, that is the greatest joy of a teacher. So thank you, Sonia ma'am. You have
Thank you, ma'am.
wonderfully
Thank you so
reviewed.
much.
So all the psychological barriers that have occurred in the last 2 years, you have nicely portrayed it. And it was so wonderful listening to you. Thank you, Sonia ma'am, and also
It's a
Meenakshi
pleasure to
ma'am.
be here, ma'am, and thank you to all of you for so patiently listening to what I said. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for having an interaction, an interactive session today. And Sonia, ma'am, thank you again for coming up with a very apt topic. It is like student and teachers bond. And yes, as Manisha ma'am also said that today we are into AI technology where artificial intelligence is there, and we are opting towards it, and we need technology in our school, but the way to use it, how to use it, it depends on the teacher, on the educator. As you said, it's how we appreciate them, how we tell them you have done a good job. And certain times I really agree to your words where you said one appreciation, one pat on the back works a lot
Yeah.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
do wonders.
It was new to all of us. No, when we did the online classes in Microsoft Teams, we teachers had to learn, but students at once they could grasp it.
Absolutely.
So that's so true. I was just portraying when Sonia ma'am was saying, I was just visualizing in front of my eyes because we also had this problem. No, it was a great task.
In fact,
Yes.
when this one Corona started, I never knew
Yes.
how to handle this Zoom classes and all. One of the students told me, and he taught me where how to share the screen. He was like, "Ma'am, you wait." He was texting me on side. You do this, and this is how you share your screen. You share your PPT. And I was scared, coming to a level where you cannot go back and you cannot say sorry. But it was a learning for me, and I am not denying till date. I appreciate and I thank the child who taught me how to share Zoom, how to be in front of the screen and how to share the screen. I never knew that, and for me it was a learning. And what there is one proverb and it's one saying said, there is no age limit for learning. You
Yes, so true.
Ma'am, I think, being teachers or being in an education sector, we have to have a continuous learning process. We have to be a student throughout our life, because the day we feel that we've learned everything and we know everything, no, our success stops over there. We stop over there. Our growth stops. So
from the
we have to
time you're
be
born.
constantly growing.
Yes. So we
Ma'am,
are
I think
facilitators.
yes, there was
We are
one
not teachers, but we are
hand raised by Dr.
facilitators.
Krishna Joshi.
I don't. If you are there,
Dr. Krishna.
Mr. Doshi, you can please unmute yourself and be a part of discussion. There's one thing which I would like to share here because I attended Dr. Abdul Kalam's session once in Bangalore,
Oh,
where I was lucky enough to be in IIT and I have his live session where he said one thing: everybody cannot be a teacher. There are a few chosen ones to be a teacher, to become a teacher. You need patience.
yes.
You need
Ma'am,
patience.
I'm just reading one of the books written by Sir. It says you are born to blossom. It's a beautiful book, ma'am.
Need,
I think all the teachers should read it.
actually,
You
they
know,
need to read Wings on Fire, where, it's really said that how we all have wings, but we need to be fired up. We need to, boost ourselves. And seriously, as Abdul Kalam ji said, always, I remember his words where he was like very clear in his things, like everybody is not born to be a teacher. And if you're a teacher, you consider yourself as a privileged one. You have,
yes.
God has given you certain gifts where you can be a teacher and you can inspire others. So I always consider teachers to be, if you are an educator, you are definitely like a god. This is what I can say.
Ma'am, it is actually believed that every child is unique. When we are doing psychology or learning career counseling, the first thing that we are taught is that every child is unique. No two children are same. Even your two siblings are never the same. They are very different from each other. So we cannot compare children, because sometimes these also lead to wrong paths. Children really get into tantrums and they are being compared to somebody else. They all have their own inner potentials and capabilities. We need to respect that, and take it forward. So that, if we see a potential in a child, maybe that child is very good with music and dance. So we need to motivate him to bring out different ways of learning through that only. Maybe he learn it better because that is his strength. We need to understand this. That is where I said we should make different clubs where children are given a chance, they can rotate themselves in different clubs. Yes, it is going to be a little extra exercise for all teachers, I can understand. But believe me, if you give a chance to them to get into each club, you will get to know his proper strengths, a child's proper strengths, where he excelled more, where he was more with passion. That will give us a chance to understand. So if the child is not excelling in a particular thing, we can always tell him or find a way out, drive out, to make him better in that. Maybe we cannot expect that excellence kind of a thing, but at least we can make him one step ahead to match things so that he doesn't feel low in the class and left out.
That
Absolutely.
appreciation matters a lot. so
Yes.
that they can unleash their hidden talents.
Yes. I think now multiple intelligences should be brought into all the schools. The different learning styles should be introduced so that the teachers are well aware of it, and accordingly they take students in class. And that will really help both of them, the teacher also and the student also, to make a holistic grooming for himself.
NAP 2022, MI is the basic concept. They have to follow
Yes,
MI.
yes,
Multiple
yes, ma'am.
intelligence, soft skills, skill development, what we say, for behavioral skills, whatever points you have covered here, development skills, management skills, soft skills, it's a part of a subject of NAP
Yes,
2020. So
yes,
wherein I believe in the coming academic year, we can see a change. We can see
yes, ma'am.
children more open to the educators or to the home, whoever mummy is there or their friend, where they can, share out. Which I personally I have seen children where they don't share things. They hide it inside. They don't want to share. They feel ashamed of sharing if they have not got good marks, or they are not good in certain subjects, or they are not a good speaker, or if they are below average. So they feel little left out. In coming, I believe in NEP 2020, what government has come up with a new curriculum and new way of teaching, new way of assessing a child. I guess India is going to do wonders if we follow that. I guess so.
Ma'am, I think if we divide our syllabus into various activities, no, every child will have something or the other to excel in, and make it. See, for example, the child must be very good with oral work and presentations. Working on computers. He could be good with extracurricular activities, art and craft, but writing must not be his forte. He might not be good in writing long answers, or answering what textual language is, but then he can at least score in the other points, right? He can score it in the other way around. So, and see, calculations is not something that every child can do it. So it's not that every child is going to be a logic smart. There could be a child who would be better in something else. Every child has a unique way of doing it, unique potential they have. So we need to respect those potentials, that uniqueness in a child, and bring it out in the best way. I think that is what a true teacher is, and what our profession asks for, demands for.
Absolutely. So this is what makes you a good teacher, a good
Yes,
educator. More than a teacher, it's an educator where it's not coming to your profession as a teacher where you are just, limiting yourself to a classroom. You're going beyond the
yes,
book. You're going beyond
yes,
your
ma'am.
classroom.
We
So that
have
is
to we
one.
have to go beyond the classroom.
Exactly.
Yes,
That is
going
why
beyond
I
the
call my
classroom.
teachers educators. I don't call them teachers because I don't want them to be limited. I don't want them to restrict themselves to a certain things to be tied up to them. They have to be left open. The strings should be open to them so that they can explore more. They can bring more resources. They can bring more kind of innovative methods to the students. Like if we can say this program that this IDYM group of companies also running called Space Exploration Program, which excites the student. So when we talk about, because this is not science, maths, mathematics. This is something beyond the subject. Something we
Yes,
want to see in NASA. They all want to be. If you ask eighth standard child or eighth grade child, when I spoke about space exploration program, they were too excited. Because oh yeah, we want to see this. Oh yeah, we want, because there is something out of chemistry, maths, biology. So
yes,
yes, we
very
have
true.
to, that is where the educator comes and the teachers go back. So we have to be an educator than to be a teacher. This is what I believe into. And as you said, soft skills are really, they matter a lot when we come into
Yes.
education industry. And I would request all the participants, please participate and ask, have a very interactive session here. Please, if you can unmute yourself and ask questions to Sonia ma'am.
Dr. Krishna Joshi was raising hand, but he hasn't put up anything, I think, as a question. Why
I,
is there a raised hand? Dr. Krishna Joshi, it shows.
Dr. Krishna Joshi, if you can hear us, can you unmute yourself and please, it is not on the screen also, ma'am. I don't see the screen. Anybody wants to ask any question to Sonia Madam? Kavita Madam. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. See, I'm a like aspiring coach about happy parenting and holistic eating habit. Now it has become like COVID has taught us so many things. All the kids have become like addicted to junk food and all. So I have seen all my neighbors are struggling to handle those kids. So what parents' role here? How we can uh, tell them what is holistic eating and how they can understand the food benefits of the food.
Okay. Ma'am, what happens here is when we are training children for eating habits, we first of all need to understand that whatever we make at home, whatever we are eating, only will be taught to children also. They'll see what is in our plate and accordingly eat. We need to curtail the food in that way only. Like, try to make more of vegetables. And as you said, they are used to junk food. Try to make it in form of that only and give it to them. Maybe first few days it will take time to develop the taste of those vegetables and salads, but give it to them in that form, like uh, roti rolls or something, wraps, make different vegetables in that particular form and give it to them with little of garnishing of cheese and sauces. So that will help them develop the habits. And slowly, because see, if you outrightly go and say, I'm not giving you junk food, you have to eat this bottle gourd, you have to have this bitter gourd only with roti, and children are not going to learn it in that way. And secondly, what I feel is, when I was working in school as a teacher, we had a thing that only Saturdays was a day where the children were allowed to get junk food in their tiffins. Otherwise, it used to be very healthy food. Even the bread was not allowed. They had to get things like poha, idli, roti, parathas, something that was very nutritional for them. So you have to, even in school, if you can inculcate those kind of eating habits with children, no, try to tell them what is good for them. They will not fall sick with it. They won't have to take any medicines. They'll be healthy. Come up to that level of what they can understand and communicate in that way. That will be very different for you. It will not be difficult.
Yeah, true. Here, some school. I stay in Bangalore. Here, in some school, they don't even allow junk food. Like if it is there in the tiffin box, they tell like a parent meeting. They'll tell you should not send junk food and all. Yeah, in school, at least that kind of initiative, if they take, it will helpful for parents as well because
Even school,
all.
even at home, because when school is initiating that healthy meal has to be brought, the home will have to prepare that. No, the mother will have to prepare that only and send it across for the tiffin.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
both of them will gel together, and that is how the child will learn also. Ma'am,
yeah.
at least what you're saying is the school waits for a PTM. Where I was working, we used to send small strip in their diary, school diary only, that from tomorrow junk food is not allowed. This was the last day, today you sent it. It is allowed only on Saturdays. So,
Okay.
we used to keep telling that to parents.
Hmm.
I would
And that,
like to add
having a fruit every day with their meal,
Yeah.
bring salad or fruit, whatever is possible. Because I can understand fruits have become very expensive. Every parent will not be in that condition to buy fruits every day, also at times. We have to see the complete classroom. It's not a segment of students, so you can even give them salads for that matter, sprouts they can get, or mixed salad they get, whatever it is, something that is really healthy for them. So try mixing around with these things and inculcating those habits, and then slowly it will come down.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Welcome, ma'am. Welcome.
Savita ma'am, one point
Yeah.
I need to add here,
Yeah.
because the school point of view, where why we are supposed to tell you don't send junk food, because as Sonia ma'am said, it comes from home. Everything starts from home. Yes, what you can do, you can have an activity with your child, because if your child is too small, you can grow sprouts together. And if he's asking, Mama, can we have burger today or pizza today? Always say yes. Make a roti pizza. add vegetables to it. Roti is of multigrain atta, and you can add different vegetables. You can add broccoli, you can add capsicum, anything of your choice with cheese. Go to the diet chart, give it to them. It's healthy food. If you want burger, give them burger, but it's a healthy
Yeah.
burger. So don't say no to junk food, because if you say no, as she said in the session, that goes negative.
True.
Head. So go with an
Because they will try
affirmation.
to get that more. They will argue for it, they'll throw tantrums for it. So when you go on a very nice positive approach to them, they will never say it. Then slowly that habit will reduce also.
Why don't go with an affirmation? Yes, we can do it. And why don't we do it on a Sunday on when everybody is together? Involve everybody who is there with you. Make a every all the families gather together and
Tell them we will make Sunday a cheat day, and throughout the day I'll give you all this only. Don't worry. But the whole week we'll have to follow a timetable for it. And
yeah,
then really do it, ma'am.
yes,
Thank
absolutely.
you
One
so
more
much, ma'am.
cheat day.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Welcome,
much, ma'am.
ma'am. Welcome.
Is there anyone who can would like to ask Sonia ma'am anything? Anyone there? Please raise your hand, everyone. Please unmute yourself if you want to ask anything to Sonia ma'am.
Yes, madam. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Good evening. Yes, sir.
I'm Nagesha Rao. I feel we have to provide transformational education instead of transactional education. And as you said, everything starts from home and ends from home. Parents 50% responsible, teachers also 50% responsible. So that responsibility they are not taking up. So we have to educate parents and train parents, then automatically the children will change. 100% what you
I
said, I agree.
totally agree with you, sir. As we have teachers training programs, we also need to conduct programs for parents for the awareness, because see, we cannot clap with one hand. We need both the hands together to clap. So if one hand is parent, the other hand is a teacher. So we need to bring the hands together to clap. So if we want a child to be holistically developed, grow properly with a proper vision and a good futuristic approach, then both have to come together. Sometimes what happens when the parents are not negligible or not too much involved in what the child is doing or how it is regularly telling in PTMs also, the teacher also loses a little interest in that particular child, because what she feels is parents are not involved in anything, parents are not responding. Okay, leave it, they will see what they have to do. What happens is the parents are negligible, the teacher moves out. So who's at loss? The student, the child is losing it actually. The child is losing the holistic approach over there. So we need to consider all these things. So I think we should have some sessions for the parents also. We should invite parents also and create awareness programs for them also.
Yes, ma'am. That's true. Because some of the things which we can make very fast and we can give away, pack up the bag and give it to child for eating. Say example, lemon rice or something. But they are missing the leafy vegetables, all kinds of vegetables, dal, etc., etc. That's why they like to share with the friends. They sit together. They enjoy how elders enjoy in the staff room or in the offices. They used to share with the others. Some schools they allow, some schools they do not allow. However, the nutritional food to be given to the child. So if the food is good, automatically the thoughts will be good. The studies automatically they learn everything. Children, after all, children they learn from elders only. They imitate the elders. They try to learn from the elders. So that transformation should be provided instead of only transactions. Thank
One
you.
more thing that I would like to bring to the notice is, these days the students also know they are used to sitting in the classrooms and having tiffins. Like, they're not allowed to go in the grounds. Like our time, what it used to be, we used to go to the ground, have tiffin with all mixed class students used to be there. From 6th, 7th to 10th, 11th standard students, all of us sitting together in a circle, eating, sharing talks, like, what happened in the morning class, sharing tiffin, like, the food that comes from each one, They would be from different languages, different traditions. So we get to learn about different cultures also. So it's nice. But these days, the children are confined to the classroom. No, you all go to the ground, you all make a mess out there, you run about from here to there. I think the school has big ground for that only, because they also need some space to breathe, right?
Yes,
They
ma'am.
cannot sit in a four-wall classroom throughout the day.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not good for them. We are suppressing children actually. So
Yes,
I
yes,
think we
yes.
should be open to that. Leave them in the open ground, half an hour recess. 15 minutes they'll eat, 15 minutes they'll run about over there. So it's okay. I think that is their right also.
Correct, ma'am. Nutrition Week also can be celebrated in the month of September, so
Yes.
that they will get awareness about the food. And
Yes.
if they have some lunch place, we have lunch hall in our school, covered area, no sun rays. So they sit together and they eat together. Class wise, they sit, and we'll monitor whether everybody completed the lunch or anybody wasted the food. How much food you wasted? We will write on a board and show. Today you wasted 1.2 kilos or 3.4 kilos of food. So challenge, empty plate challenge we will provide, so that they got a lot of awareness. They are taking up it a positive way and they are doing it also.
Yes, sir, we can even keep awareness by, arranging for a meal in school for them. Like, because when they're sitting together, no, they will eat, once in a week or once in 15 days, once in a month, it can be a meal day in school. And you make such things that are really nutritional for children. So, sitting together, they'll all eat it, because when they're together in a group and the two with peers, they will enjoy that meal also. It makes a lot of difference.
Yes, yes, yes. Seriously, it is a valid question, but yes, it's a really valid question. And yes, we need to have one day as a meal day. And many of the schools, they do have a meal day program where they involve everybody together so that they can, first thing is home meal, second thing is sharing, with children of this era has forgotten to share. They don't have.
Yes.
This is what I feel personally. They don't know how to share. They are very antisocial people where they don't want to go out and mingle with others also. Same class. They don't want to do that. But yes, many of the schools are coming up with this program where they, and maximum people who are listening, please do have one day meal program where everybody is bringing meals, home cooked food, and they can enjoy. Even in school canteens, I've observed they provide very nutritional food. And as sir said, yes, which is very, if we eat good, everything is good. Our heart is good, our
Yes.
brain is good, we, absorb everything. It was
Very true.
seriously good, Sonia ma'am, to have a wonderful session. And every single minute till now, I have enjoyed. And I
Thank you.
really
Thank you so much, ma'am.
glad to be a part of your another, session if it is in future. So,
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
I'm really glad for, and thank you everybody who has come today on this session of, teachers training program where it was all about student and teachers bonding. And more of that, more than student and teacher bonding, it was like how we need to bond ourselves with our children than to be the students. So, as I have told you, it's a bag for me today, which I have learned, and I'm going to pass it on to my teachers when I go tomorrow. So, thank you so much, ma'am, for this very interactive session, and
Thank
all
you,
the
ma'am.
participants who have come today on a Sunday to attend this session, which was seriously. Every minute was a learning where we have learned a lot, where we have gained knowledge on counseling, how to counsel a student, how to counsel ourselves. Every minute we have learned. Thank you so much, ma'am, Sonia, ma'am, and everybody who is
Thank you.
there and who is watching us now. Thank you so much and enjoy your Sunday. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Good night, everyone.
Thank you. All of
Thank
you have a great Sunday evening.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining in.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, from Zimbabwe. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We have learned lots of things
Thank,
from you. I
thank you
have
very much.
joined after so many times.
Thank you. Thank you so much.